I want to get your thoughts on the whole Reddit, GameStop, Robinhood thing. I get so many emails from old CNBC viewers saying, Bob, whatever happened to those fundamentals you used to talk about? Do they not matter anymore? What are you telling your clients? And again, folks, this is the #1 registered investment advisor in the United States. What are you telling them about this?
We're seeing a brave new world right now, Bob. We have the democratization and the demonetization of Wall Street. When we grew up, we're both old white men, white-haired. When we grew up, you needed a lot of money to buy stocks, and you paid large commissions, 3% round-trip commissions to buy those stocks. Today, you can buy stocks commission-free, and you can do so on a fractional basis of just $5. Anybody, anywhere, literally can engage in the stock market, and that's what the Reddit chat rooms and message boards are facilitating with outfits like Robinhood and Acorns and now virtually every discount broker in the country. So people who have no investment experience are now engaging in massive ways, and they are proudly proclaiming they don't know what they're doing. But in this past year, they've been creating massive increases in price. They think this is how the market always works. Fundamentals, they don't even know how to spell it, let alone define it, and they don't care. And so far, they've been proven correct. But this party's going to come to an end because the rest of us with experience understand how this game works. There do need to be fundamentals. There needs to be a sound basis economically for the pricing to be what it is. This party will end. A lot of it is being, frankly, a pump and dump scheme, in my opinion.
Are you concerned about that?
I'm
are you
very
concerned that there are people who are, when you say pump and dump, you mean traders that are pumping this up?
Not traders, influencers. You've got people who are sending out tweets, some of them extremely well-known individuals who are running, they're some of the biggest billionaires on the planet, very well-known, who send out a tweet and then poof, the stock or the asset like Dogecoin skyrockets, and a lot of people are buying at the highs. And then there's another tweet saying get rid of it. So I think that we're seeing massive market manipulation. A lot of folks don't know what they're doing. And this is going to end very badly, and a lot of folks are going to get really hurt.
Jan, weigh in on this. I know you're a guy who covers commodities, but you're an educator too. You have wonderful stuff on your website educating people about investing in general, and you're a historian yourself. He's got a point about the fundamentals. Ultimately, fundamentals, of course, matter, looking for the intrinsic value of a company based on cash flows. But short term, if enough people are investing on momentum, why would they care about fundamentals if they're just trying to trade intraday or for a few days? There's no reason to think the stock should trade on fundamentals or should price on fundamentals. And yet, long term, what Rick is saying makes some sense. Eventually, the momentum people go away, or the noise traders, whatever you want to call them, go away, and the stock should revert to its more fundamental value. Or are we just crazy?
I think my main, I agree with a lot of what Rick said. I think the main difference is I think that in the long term, the market will cure this problem. There's no doubt social media is much more important in our lives. And there's some dangerous things. I'm actually vacationing here in Wyoming, and I ask every other person has a crypto portfolio, since this was one of the crypto-friendly states. So there's no doubt I would include crypto in that kind of a little bit over momentum hype. However, I just don't know how you can regulate it. And I would say as well, we launched an ETF that sort of tracks social sentiment, and it's done really well. It's outperformed the S&P. The index has been around for 6 years. It rotates between value and growth. So I'm not sure there's a there, but so far the evidence is, and it doesn't chase the short-term smaller cap stocks. It only invests in stocks over $5 billion. So I think there is something to social sentiment, but separately, there's a lot of bad behavior, and hopefully people don't have too much of their savings lost in this kind of frenzy.
And so Jan is right. We cannot regulate this away. We have to educate this away. And that's what I'm doing at the RIA Digital Assets Council. We are creating webinars. We have webinars this month, Bob, coming up on how to invest in your IRA in digital assets, understanding the volatility of the marketplace, and even Bitcoin mining. People have heard about this stuff. They have no idea how to do it. And we've launched the first ever certificate in blockchain and digital assets for financial professionals so that you can get the knowledge you need to understand this landscape, because it's new and totally different. And by educating people to understand how this works, both the technology and the investment opportunities, that's how we'll enable people to protect themselves against the idiocy that we see pervasive in the marketplace.
Yeah,
right now.
It's funny. First of all, how can people partake in the RIA
Just go to riadac.com, riadac.com.
riadac.com. Rice Delman inside joke about famous advertising, just to make sure you know how to get his name. Rice Delman.
Yeah, nobody knows how to spell Rick Edelman, so Rice Delman.
Yeah. But you've got a good point about, I don't know anything about whether there is any pump and dump. I know that Gensler himself has said we are going to be investigating this as part of the overall look at GameStop, Reddit / Robinhood. We are going to be looking at whether there were any attempts at market manipulation. And again, we have no information at all on this, but you know,
but
you
it's
heard
looking
from Rick,
like it looks like a duck.
It's a source of concern, right? If it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck.
But hold on. But the trouble is, hedge funds trade on momentum. There's ETFs that track nothing but momentum. So you can't just blame individual investors because they're following a momentum trading strategy. That's not fair, right?
Yeah. No.
And I would also say that people like Jan and me who are focusing on the technology and how this is transformative for global commerce, the blockchain technology and the related coins and tokens that are being developed as a result of that tech, this is revolutionary. And it's wonderful investment opportunities for long term. That's totally different from the speculators who are literally trying to get rich quick based on a message board over which something they have no idea what they're talking about.
Yeah. I want to move on and ask you about silly investment advice. You are, again, the #1 registered investment advisor in America, and you have said to me repeatedly over the years, we've been friends for 15 years, folks, there's an amazing amount of silly investment advice out there. Give us an example of silly. What's bothering you right now about what people are saying, or some people are saying?
Well, I would say two things. We've been dancing around them both here so far today. Number one is people trying to get rich quick on something new based on an influencer's comment on something or other, and they're just trying to manipulate the marketplace, and they're taking something very superficial and running with it to extreme degrees. We saw Ronaldo move 2 bottles of Coke off the desk, and all of a sudden Coke falls 6% in value. That's silly. And that's one illustration. We see a tweet from Elon Musk or Mark Cuban, and all of a sudden markets move. That's silly. On the other hand, we're seeing people saying, I don't understand this. You know, those old white guys you mentioned a few minutes ago. I don't understand what's going on. Therefore, it makes no sense. And they're sitting on the sidelines. Just because you don't get it, that's your cue to go learn. Yeah. Because you might be missing out on something.
But Jan, isn't it also the opposite true? I don't understand it. Therefore, I'm going to listen to Elon Musk or Mark Cuban. I don't know what's going on, but they must. Therefore, I'm just going to follow them. Now, of course, we don't know what they're doing. They're not telling us what their positions are, whether they're just leading everybody. We don't know. We know nothing.
You know, you've got Mark Cuban who touts a particular digital asset at $60, and a couple of days later, it's worthless. So just because he's tweeting about it doesn't necessarily mean he's right.
Can I just make 2 comments? Listen. All new technologies, from the railroad, through the cars and everything, attracted a ton of speculative capital, and the prices went up too high. But it attracted business activity towards a space that had a lot of technological promise, and ultimately a huge impact, positive impact on society. So we're just saying that, I think, now with crypto assets, and that I like. I will just say one last comment. The balancing between growth and value stocks has actually been very orderly over the last 3 to 6 months. And so I'm very happy about that, because growth, people have gotten way offsides growth. And I don't know if Rick has a comment on that, but that was something that was worrying me about 6 months ago.
Well, thank you for your comment on the history. Jan's a great historian of the markets. He's got some wonderful educational materials up as you do. But he's right. The whole behavioral economics part of this is that new technologies attract excess enthusiasm, and in some cases fraud and speculation. We saw it with the telegraph. We saw it with the railroads. We saw it with the radio. RCA was the internet of the day. We saw it.
But that's great for the economy. It's great for society and humankind. That's not necessarily great for the individual investor who bought high and sold low. So you need to protect yourself within this opportunity, within this ecosystem, so that you are personally benefiting and not merely contributing to the benefit of society.